And the World Chess Championship is finally on. Today we had the first round, and boy, what a first round that was. We have a result in our opening game itself, and that too with the black pieces. Ding Liren, the reigning world champion, who has not quite been in some form for a long time, against all odds, has come out as a victor. He was playing with the black pieces the first game of the tournament versus the young sensation from India, Gukesh, and he ended up beating him in a very tense and interesting game of the French defense. And this is after a long time that we have a result in the first game itself. The last time this happened was way back in 2010 when the Indian pro Vishwanathan Anand, who else, right, defeated Vasily Topalov in the tournament, though he ended up losing the first game. And the first time that someone won with black pieces was way back in the 1980s in a game between Korchnoi and Kasparov. So it's been quite a while, and it's going to be only more interesting from here on. But this video is about 3 things that we learned from the first game of the World Chess Championship 2024 happening in Singapore between D. Gukesh from India and the reigning world champion Ding Liren from China. The first thing that we learned, you cannot discount Ding. Ding is back, truly back. He won a game after 300 days, a classical win after 300 days, and boy, what a time for that to come. And unarguably the most important game that he has played in by far since his last game against Ian Nepomniachtchi, who won the candidate 2 times to try again to become a world champion, which he could not do against Magnus Carlsen. But in a very nerve-wracking tournament, Ding Liren came out to be a victor. And since that day, when you saw Ian Nepomniachtchi struggling to make moves and all nervousness when he realized that he has lost the tournament, Ding has been on kind of a downfall, to say the least. And as many people put it, was by far an underdog going into the game and this tournament. And let's see how it goes. But Ding is truly back. He not only defeated Gukesh, but he defeated Gukesh playing with black in a French defense game of the first game of the tournament. Just immense. At one point, he was way down in the time after the move 7th, and this is how the position looked at that time. When, if I remember correctly, the last move was c3 by Gukesh, and it felt like Ding is suddenly out of preparation and he didn't budge for the next half an hour or so. And in the post-match interview, he did say that he was confused. He remembered his preparation correctly or not, so he came up with the idea on the board, which was a5, and things followed. So the first thing is Ding is truly back. The second thing is the crucial aspect of psychology in the game. And I think seeing the press conference of the first game, you can see that there are these psychological nuances that are visibly in play. For example, Ding mentioned about going with the French defense idea in the first game, thinking that, Gukesh might be nervous as this being his first game at this elite level of World Championship. So the psychological aspect is going to be big, and even Gukesh showed a lot of maturity when he said that now the tournament will become more interesting, maybe, instead of coming up with a defeated figure. He also had a sort of positive take at the end of it, and it's a long match, so there is a lot of time to come back. And lastly, the aspect of time management, which was super crucial. I mean, at the start of it, it seems like Ding has been blown out completely by the preparation that Gukesh might have in this deep line in French defense. At one point, I think, if I'm not wrong, the Chinese Grandmaster was like 40 minutes behind or 50 minutes behind on time, which is like a huge gap. But it turned out in the end, a sequence of not so perfect moves, and Gukesh was the one who ended up being suddenly so low on time with 45 seconds. I think he had like 6 to 7 moves to make, which is just too much at this level without any increment of 30 seconds. So the time situation management is also going to be super crucial. We remember at one of the games between Ding Liren and Ian Nepomniachtchi that became a factor, and Ding resigned with 3 seconds left in a lost position, but you know how things can get so dirty so quickly when you are unable to manage your time, because it can become physically impossible at some point to really make those many number of moves in such less amount of time. So time management is definitely going to be a very crucial factor. So three takeaways. Ding is truly back with a bang. Press conferences and the psychological aspect of the game, and lastly the time management. The second round starts tomorrow, and we hope to see Gukesh make some progress from here on. I think a couple of quiet draws would not be too bad for Gukesh at this point, or even for Ding. I think they both will be comfortable to play one or two draws to really settle down their nerves, especially Gukesh. You don't want to go 2 or 3 down in the first 4 games, because then it becomes a bit difficult to make a comeback. So let's see how it goes. But for now, signing off. See you in the next video.